Hey, welcome back to the Ready State. One of the things I want to talk about today is something we've sort of been beating the drum along for a long time, which is how do we conjoin the stimulus for adaptation with the diagnostic tool? Because one of the things that we have a hard time with is if I run you through some kind of assessment, I take a snapshot of you and then we train, maybe that informs how I train, maybe I make modifications, maybe I program to that. But as we know, and as one of my friends from Refit PT said, your mobility, your ability to move freely is like a credit score. It's a dynamic document, it's a living document. And more importantly, what we want to remind you is that every day, based on the conditions, based on your age, your training age, your injury history, your lifestyle, right, the session costs from last training, your ability to move into a full range, uncompensated range of motion may be a little bit dynamic. It may be, if you don't believe me, jump on a red eye with your newborn baby. Don't sleep, be a stress case, add some work, and then let me know how your hamstring range of motion is. And what you're gonna find out, of course, is that this is a really interesting dynamic. And so what we want you to be better at, and the things that we're trying to do is say, hey, my training is me assessing what's going on. My friends at Altus, Olympic Track and Field, their dynamic warm-up is their assessment. And every good coach on the planet has been saying the same things. During our warm-ups, during our sort of movement, during our movement preparation, we really understand what's going on with the athlete. And this shouldn't be so much of a step in sort of a leap in logic. If my coaches are working out with someone, they're like, how do you feel today, right? Because that alone is that psychological piece is a big driver of what we're gonna do. So more importantly, if we already are adjusting volumes, adjusting training based on session costs, environmental load, our adaptation errors, our ability to adapt to what's going on, our nutrition quality, all those things, genetics, right? We can then just go ahead and pivot and say, hey, look, if I'm going overhead today, that's my test. And what I want you to do is think, sometimes if you're training in a specific position, training in a specific sort of modality, take one shape out of that and understand that you've just run a test and now minister to that test. So if we're gone overhead and you have identified an incomplete overhead mechanic today, whatever reason, then afterwards you can fix that. And then what we've done is conjoined the stimulus with the adaptation, and more importantly, we're getting closer to the idea that training is not just about physiology, it's not just about energy systems, it's also about restoration and improvement of position and mechanics.